Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Time's Movie of the Week. This week's Movie of the Week was Birdman. Okay, so Birdman won the Academy Award, the Oscar, for Best Film in the year of 2014. And I definitely see where the Academy is going from when this film won that award. I definitely see what they saw in certain aspects of this film. Now, that category this year was very tough fought, tough category, tough choice to choose the best film. But I think they went with a very well-made movie. They went with a very good movie. It was very good. I definitely enjoyed it. I want to start off with talking about one of my favorite things about this film. One of my favorite things is the cinematography, the edit team, those two aspects kind of going together. They do such a great job on this film with the cinematography and the editing that there are times where I cannot tell when there's a cut or if it's been a one shot where they've never cut and it's just continual rolling of the camera. They do such a great job, and it just blew my mind, some of these scenes. It definitely takes me back to the time watching Entourage on HBO, because they had so many one-shot takes on that show where they would be going from the inside of the house, going down the stairs, into the living room, through the kitchen, out the front door, and then to the car. And so there's stuff like that in this film that really grabs your attention. They have the camera, they have sweeping angles, they have nice pans, and they have all these types of camera movements and techniques that really grabbed my attention. I was just blown away by that. There was maybe one time, I think, where I caught the cut, and I think that was only because what they did to hide the cut was very obvious. They hid the cut with the sun. They had the camera go up to the sun, so you get the sunlight kind of blinds out the screen, but you tell I could tell that was where the cut was at, and then they come back down into the next scene. But other than that, they did such a great job that you couldn't tell when it's cutting, and in some parts they just purely transitioned into the next evening with the same color. They used the shadows and, like I said, the sweeping pans, and they used it so eloquently that they got to the point where it was mixed perfectly. I loved it. I really did. That was one of my favorite things about the movie, probably my favorite thing of the movie. One of the other things I liked the relationship between Edward Norton Jr. and Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton did a great job in this film. He definitely showed this kind of manic side to his character. He definitely had multiple, I'm not a psychologist, but it seemed like he had a multiple personality type of syndrome that kind of stemmed from his original portrayal of the character Birdman. Whether it started there or it was always there in him, as he was always psychologically a little off, where whether or not he always had that in him or it came from that, I don't know. But throughout the film, you definitely see it, and you get this battle that he's having inside of himself, and it's nice. He does a great job with it, and he just does he does a great job just acting in this film in general. He does a great job of acting the overact, I should say, because his character in the film is doing a stage play which he's never really done before, and he's at points he's overacting. It's not coming off natural. While Edward Norton's character, he does a great job, Edward Norton, as playing this suave, smooth, professional stage actor. They both have their issues, of course, in their personal lives, but they are both a different dichotomy, a different type, a different class of actor, and it's nice to see that. They did a great job with that and kind of defining the two. One of my future wives is in this film, Emma Stone. I love her. She's awesome, of course. I actually have a biased opinion about her, so I can't really judge her performance in this film. I like everything she does, but I gotta say that this was a different character for her. It was nice to see her branch out from some of the characters that she usually plays in films, and like I said, nice character, nice difference, nice change of pace for her. Overall though, even with these battles that are going on inside of Michael Keaton, this battle with Edward Norton's inner demons that he's dealing with, all these things, you go through this film and you start to feel for Michael Keaton's character, and that's how you kind of know, in my eyes, you kind of know that this movie's doing a good job, where you actually feel for the character, you feel for the guy, you want him to succeed, but he keeps shooting himself in the foot, or in the nose in this case. Wink, wink. Some of the things that they did in this film were very Fight Club-ish, kind of like how Edward Norton is fighting Brad Pitt, or Brad Pitt's, and punching him, but he's actually just punching himself. And it's kind of like that in a sense, which after probably the first time it happened, I was like, oh, I get what's happening. And I understood it right away. But there was also certain times where they used that, and then they brought a character into that aspect, and it wasn't happening, but then it was happening a different time. So it was kind of unbalanced in my mind. I don't know what the point was of making that happen for this person and not for this one. I wonder if that had to do with a troubled person, somebody with a troubled heart, or somebody with a clear conscience or an unclear conscience. I don't know what that was. I definitely want to look into this more. I definitely think it's nice that they throw that in there, but at the same time it is confusing. And when I say confusing, it's not that I'm like, I'm saying it's confusing because it wasn't consistent and it just didn't make sense, like it didn't fit in that area. When other things happen, it physically happens, and then when this is happening, it's not physically happening. So it's kind of like, okay, pick a line and stick to it. Is he going to be supernatural? Is it just in his mind? I don't know. That's what I'm saying by it's a little confusing and it's not consistent. So maybe I'm being confusing right now. I don't know, but it's weird. It's interesting. It's a little frustrating at certain points in the film when they do this, but it's a nice take on this inner demon that Michael Keaton is fighting. Overall, so far, I've watched, this is my third film of some of the top-ranked films of 2014, Gone Girl, Nightcrawler, and now this one. And I gotta say, it's right up there with Gone Girl and Nightcrawler. It's right up there, and I'm seeing why last year was so tough in that Best Film, Best Picture award. You can rent this movie in Redbox. You can go buy it from the stores. I wasn't able to watch this on Blu-ray. I'm wondering what's the issue with that, why there's no Blu-ray in Redbox. So I'm wondering about that. Next week, I definitely want to watch Whiplash. I'm just letting you guys know right now. But the same thing is Whiplash doesn't have Blu-ray in Redbox. I don't understand what's going on with some of these films. But it's in Redbox, and you guys should watch this. It's a definite must-watch. Again, a lot of cursing, a lot of adult talk, adult speak. Probably shouldn't let the kids watch this film. But it is a good film overall, and I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time. It made me think. I like that the last few movies that I've been watching the last few weeks have been really just making me think and trying to figure out what is the underlying story, what is the underlying thing that's happening in this film that I might need to do some research afterwards. I like that. It gets me thinking, and I like to every now and then, use my brain when I'm watching a movie. It's really fun, really interesting. I like that stuff. And that's it for Movie Time's Movie of the Week segment this week, guys. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions in the comment section. Let's have a great conversation this week. See you next time. Peace.